Let's talk today about tall poppy syndrome. This is something that really concerns me, where individuals who stand out, shine brightly, give great ideas, they can get their head chopped off, metaphorically, because in fact they're standing out and they're standing in a place of their own greatness. And maybe you're sitting there wondering as you're watching this video, what on earth why would that happen? That doesn't make any sense at all. But some of you will be watching this video and say, yeah, that sounds like my workplace. Or perhaps that sounds like the industry that I've always worked in. I've worked most of my career in healthcare before I started my own business, and my husband's a teacher working in education. And there is a collectivist culture in those industries where it is better to go along with the crowd than it is to stand out and shine brightly. In fact, sometimes people are even hesitant to move into management roles because it is such a juxtaposition to how they have been working for so many years that it just feels like the risk isn't worth it. So the risk really is worth it. And how can you shine brightly without being shunned, bullied, or pushed aside and made to feel small because you are standing tall in your greatness? And how can you innovate, make things better in your workplace, and really find your own version of satisfaction by being able to share your great ideas and demonstrate how much you love your career and your work? Well, there's three key things. Number one is remember to recognize your own greatness. Whether people want to see it or are able to recognize it all around you, that is important, of course. However, nothing's more important than you being able to recognize your own greatness. And sometimes that means finding places outside of work where you're able to shine brightly, but please don't let that bulb go out. Because what I've seen over the years when individuals have just tried to suppress their greatness and go along with the norm is they've found that they've been disengaged not just at work, but in their life too. They may gain weight. They may not stop doing things they love. They may stop taking care of themselves and practicing self-care rituals, or even believing that they deserve it. So self-recognition and doing things that add joy to your life is essential. The second thing is recognize other people. And again, if you don't want to stand out from the rest, it doesn't have to be public recognition. In fact, what we find is in collectivist cultures, it's one-on-one private recognition that people actually appreciate more. So thank somebody, offer to help, acknowledge something specific that they've done and that you appreciate. Acknowledging and recognizing people not only makes them feel good, but it also makes you feel good and allows you to shine and stand out without feeling like you're sort of a target on your back. The third thing that I just want to share is the importance of gossip. And I know some people are like, wait a minute, isn't gossip bad? Sure, negative gossip's bad, but resource gossip is good. Talk positively about people when they're not there. And I know you already do this. There's a term for this thing that you're doing. It's called resource gossip. The more you do it, the more you can acknowledge other people and how they stand out and they shine, but it's without breaking the rules, so to speak, of that collectivist culture. In other words, you're able to acknowledge people as standing out and doing a great job without it putting a spotlight on them, embarrassing them, or making it seem like it is for some kind of personal gain or gain for that other person. It's sort of like being discreet, but also it's super powerful because there is no personal gain for you in acknowledging that person. And yet it also doesn't have the same risks of doing something publicly. I hope you found these strategies to be helpful, because the last thing I want to see is you dampen your own greatness, or that the group that you work in, that everybody suppresses their greatness to be able to perhaps perform to a lower norm or standard or expectation that you know is possible for yourself and others. And there is huge value of that sense of collaboration and teamwork. So embracing the benefits of that collectivist culture without it having all of the downsides allows you to really benefit, as opposed to be subjected to the downsides of tall poppy syndrome. My name's Sarah McVanel. If you want some additional tools and strategies about how to bring greatness into your world, self-recognition and recognition of others, you know my cool stuff page always has lots of resources for you, and I'd love for you to just jump in, play around, find anything that you would find valuable, because it is there for you, my friends.